Hey Rosa, so for me, you set forth the challenge of reading The Will of Wisteria, which is a book about four siblings that must complete a year of working pro bono in order to earn a share of their father's inheritance. Now, I've watched a couple movies with a similar plot line, and so I had high hopes for this one with this novel, because when done well, it's a plotline that works really great because you can have great character development in it. And also, the author chose an awesome setting as Charleston, South Carolina. I feel like every novel that I've read with Charleston as a setting has really utilized it as a character instead of just a backdrop. Unfortunately, I don't think the author used Charleston, South Carolina to its full advantage, instead, kind of keeping it as having the characters live in individual neighborhoods in Charleston to represent the physical distance between them as a metaphor for the emotional distance between them. Yay, metaphors and all, but I kind of miss Charleston, even though I've never been there, and all I know about it is from books that I've read. And this is also a plotline that I feel like must be done well because there are really great examples out there. And she did a really great idea with having it told from each of the four children's perspectives. The problem is the execution. Now, the second half of the book, she did a great job. Each of the sections for the children were longer, I'm getting really into the story, but the start kind of missed the pacing a little bit. I fell asleep while reading the first part. I know, it's really bad. And it wasn't like I had worked the night before and I had just woken up. I had been awake for quite a while. I was feeling wide awake. But jumping from, Mary Catherine's perspective to Elizabeth's perspective to, all around these four characters, sometimes each point of view was only half a page long. It was too choppy. It was hard for me to get into knowing the characters. And I feel like that's a critical time to really have it tight, knowing, well, let me get to know this character a little bit more before moving on to the next point of view. Now, that being said, the author has great wit. I feel like each of the characters did have a really well-developed voice, and I really got to know them over the course of the novel, but it was a little bit rough at the beginning, and I feel like that's a really critical time to have stuff flow really well and to keep engaging your reader. So for the first half of the book, I'd only give it a 1 star. For the last half of the book, I'd give it 5 stars, which means that for an overall rating, I give The Will of Wisteria 3 out of 5 stars. Well, it is on your to-read shelf, so maybe in a little bit when I challenge you, you'll have a different perspective on the book, but I just have to share my thoughts on it. And I really hope that to read more books by this author in the future, because I feel like her voice is really great. And I hope that I enjoy those books as much as I did the second half of Will of Wisteria. Okay, can't wait to see what you challenge me to next, Rosa. Bye!